Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:01 on this Friday. I'm Will Puckett. Cassidy has today off, but Brandon is here, so don't worry, you're not stuck with just me. Brandon is tracking more winter weather this weekend, rather, for a severe weather alert day that we have today going into this weekend. And really, Brandon, you and I have talked about it a couple times so far this morning. It's really a travel problem that this is going to create. Just kind of go into detail on what we're expecting today into tomorrow.
Sure, absolutely. And again, we give notice that we don't issue them just as they're going on. We issue them for the most part to give you plenty of notice. And right now it's about 24 hours. So let's take a look at what's going on across the region on the camera network. We start outside the WYMT studios here in Hazard. No major issues so far this morning. Some frost and cold temperatures. So that's some things you'll need to watch out for. Get those cars warmed up. Same thing over Whitesburg as we head here into 6 o'clock, and McKee pretty quiet this morning. Looking over downtown there, we go to the Light Pinpoint Doppler radar and clean sweeps now. But out to the west, there is a system building that's going to bring everything from rain to snow to some wintry mix. And you see temperatures across the region pretty chilly this morning in the teens and 20s area wide. We're going to continue to see those for most of the morning until we start to climb a little bit later on. Temperatures across the state into the teens and 20s as well. A little bit warmer out toward Paducah there at 26. Cincinnati's at 28. That's two of the warmer spots in the entire region. Coffee meter, max warming needed all the way up to the top there this morning. So grab you a nice hot cup of coffee on your way out the door. Speaking out the door, the forecast for that, we're looking at a cold start to the morning. Sunny though, clear skies for a while, and then clouds will start to build in later as we get up close to 40 this afternoon. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, 11 years ago, a Perry County preacher was killed, and the person who did it has yet to be found. Police say Marion Estep was shot and killed along the Hal Rogers Parkway on January 10th, 2008. His grandson, Joe Engel, is the new Perry County Sheriff. He says his family has found peace, knowing that most likely his grandfather's killer will not be brought to justice. He says all of this led to him to run for sheriff.
Absolutely. It played a lot of role in it, and I want to not say anything bad about anybody else, but I want to provide the people of this county with something happens like that to them, we'll be able to handle it.
Sheriff Ingalls said he would like to reopen his grandfather's case and bring his killer to justice. A teen who was missing out of Buchanan County, Virginia has been found, and one man has been arrested. 15-year-old Madeline Wells has been found. She was thought to have been with this man you see on your screen, 21-year-old Michael Noonan. Who she allegedly met on Facebook. A sheriff's office spokesman said they had been seeing each other after school for several days. Well, a man is dead after police say he jumped into the Tug Fork River to escape them yesterday morning in Pike County. Troopers say Michael J. Hatfield admitted to stealing a purse from a parked car at Appalachian Tobacco. They also say they found evidence of the crime at the house he was staying in. The attempted arrest led to a fight. Hatfield ran into the creek bed and jumped into the river. Emergency crews searched for Hatfield in the cold water currents.
And it's imperative to get medical attention as fast as possible because you've got to be rewarmed in order to survive something like that.
Now, Mingo County authorities later found him on railroad tracks in West Virginia. Crews took him to the hospital to be treated for exposure, but he was pronounced dead around 2:40 in the afternoon. His body has been taken to Frankfort for an autopsy. We will keep you updated on air and online at WYMT.com with any additional information. They can be controversial, but officials say needle exchange programs are necessary. Some argue it enables drug users. Others feel it prevents the spread of disease and prevents dirty needles from ending up in the community. WYMT's Justin Case went to Breathitt County yesterday to learn more about what makes their needle exchange program more effective.
These days, finding needles in parks or near schools is becoming far too common.
We've had cases where kids are playing in the park, and they run across a needle. It happened to one of the ladies on our coalition.
A grant provided by Kentucky ASAP and Unite Coalition is helping to fight the drug problem here. It funds naloxone training for first responders. It helped create the needle exchange program and paid for 3 needle disposal boxes.
We didn't want to think that people think that we were pushing making needles available to people for drug use, but whenever we looked at the statistics and we saw that Breathitt County was one of the 5 counties in the United States where there might be a danger of a major hepatitis outbreak, we thought, we have to do something.
Police say they get calls about needles found in the community every day, and it puts their health at risk.
We were on a search warrant. We were cleaning up and getting ready to leave, and we picked up a bag, and there was an uncapped needle, and it poked him in the hand.
In order to make this whole plan more effective, Chief Spicer says he gives inmates this card when they get out of jail with a list of options and places they can go when they're ready to get help. Drug users now have 3 places they can dispose of dirty needles: City Hall, the courthouse, or the Jackson Fire Department.
If they're coming here trying to do the right thing, get rid of the needles, to dispose of them properly, they're not going to be arrested. We're here to help the community. We're here to make sure our community is safe.
Working to keep the community safer for generations to come.
Now, Chief Spicer says the needle disposal box will soon be placed outside City Hall so it can be accessed 24 hours a day. Another controversial topic made its way to the state capitol: abortion. One lawmaker filed a bill that would ban abortions if a heartbeat is detected. Under the proposed legislation, abortion providers would be required to check for a fetal heartbeat. If one is detected, it would be a Class D felony to perform the procedure unless there is a medical emergency. Now, the state is already tied up in 3 other lawsuits over abortion restrictions. The ACLU warns the bill would trigger another one.
This bill, like all restrictions on abortion, is really about lawmakers thinking that they know what's best for you.
The purpose of Senate Bill 9 is exactly how it reads. It's to make it illegal to abort a baby once a heartbeat is detected, because a heartbeat represents life.
Sponsors of the bill say legal challenges in other abortion cases will not stop Kentucky lawmakers from pushing ahead with an even more restrictive measure. The pro-life caucus also filed 3 other bills to put restrictions on abortions. A Kentucky state representative is pushing 2 bills this session. Lexington Democrat George Brown calls them common sense measures. The 2 bills would regulate what he calls advanced weaponry and require safe storage following the shooting at Marshall County High School.
We want people to be responsible for their weapons. The Marshall County shooting, from the reports I got, and then I understand that the young man used his stepfather's gun that was unsecured.
Representative Brown's bill also aims to close gun show loopholes and require registration of so-called assault weapons. Governor Matt Bevins says again that he plans to file for re-election. A reporter for the Cincinnati Enquirer says the governor told him he plans to file before the January 29th deadline. He has not said exactly when he will do it or who his running mate will be. The purse at this year's Kentucky Derby is now $3 million. It will be the richest Derby in history. Derby winners will get $1.8 million. The Kentucky Derby purse was $1 million from '96 to 2004 and has been worth $2 million since 2005. This year's Kentucky Derby is Saturday, May 4th. Well, a piece of history from the Letcher County Courthouse has gone missing. Officials say the noose that hanged Floyd Frazier in 1910 is nowhere to be found, and they have no idea where it could have gone. The noose was from the last legal hanging in Letcher County. Floyd Frazier was accused of murdering Ellen Flannery in 1907 and was hanged in the Schoolhouse Hill in 1910.
Because it's a piece of our history, I hate that it's gone. I want to get a shadow box to put it in and display it so our citizens can see it, because I want to preserve it because it's our history and it means a lot to us.
Now, officials do not want to press charges. They just hope to see it returned. 3 men from Detroit are facing drug charges out of Wayne County, West Virginia this morning. Investigators with the Wayne County Sheriff Drug Enforcement Unit arrested the trio in Lavalette. Deputies say Marquand Peterson, DeMarco Muex, and Javante Green were heading to Huntington when they took a wrong turn and ended up in Lavalette. Police say the men were in a stolen 2017 Volkswagen Passat. Each man is charged with conspiracy as well as receiving and transferring stolen property. 6:10 on this Friday. Straight ahead, we take a look at your financial news in a new free streaming service launched by Amazon. And later in sports, University of Kentucky offensive coordinator Eddie Gran says he is all in for Big Blue Nation. More details coming up.
We have lots to talk about in the full forecast, including chances for rain, wintry mix, and yes, even snow. I'll have all the details in about 3 minutes.